Evelyn, right? So watch this. Read Exodus 22 and 16. Because as he was going over is what? Marriage, right? And how not to be boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're supposed to what? Get married, right? So when you deal with God as dating, watch this. Read.
Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid.
So if a man come up to you, Evelyn, and he say, you know what? Hey, Evelyn, how you doing? You want to slide in the DMs, right? He want to try to spit the game to you, right? But while he talking to you and want to get and trying to act like he wants to know you, what is his intention behind that spitting the game?
I don't know what his intention, but I supposed to spit the game back by giving him the law.
Okay, so you're supposed to give him the laws by spitting it back, right? But if you don't know the law, then how are you going to know how to diverse that conversation to make it into a godly one and say, you're not supposed to be dealing with me in that way because you're not dealing with a godly man. You're dealing with a man of the world, with a nigga mentality. So when you deal with that, they're going to entice you, Evelyn. They're going to say, you know what, let's go on a date, let's Netflix and chill, let's do all of that. And what is it supposed to give you? Some sort of hope as what? This is going to be my man to be, right? So you feel good. You say, you know what, I'm going to give this man a chance. I'm going to go out with him. Everything was good. The date, the dinner, the game he was talking to was great, right? You go to his house, and what happened, Reed?
That is not betrothed and lie with her.
So you go to the house and lie with that man. Because after he gave you all the game, he took you out on a date, the dinner, movie, all that was good. You like, man, this dude is a good dude. He's a good dude, right? And you say, you know what? I'm going to go home and give him the goods. And this is what he should be doing after that. Read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
He's supposed to make you now his wife.
Bring it out.
But watch this, Rock 13 and 4. Because I'm going to show you what a lot of our guys want to do. After they get the goods, after they do all of that, this is the mentality of a nigga. A mentality of a person who don't love you. A person who just want to have sex with you and lie with you and just have fun. Watch this, read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 and verse 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee.
So if you be for his profit, he's going to use you. He's going to say, you know what? I'm about to be, you're going to think that you're my boyfriend, but to him, you're friends with benefits.
Bring it out.
You just get it, he just, with you, just get benefits from you. What type of benefit? The sexual benefit that's going to bring forth his pleasure, for his own desire. He's not here to love you or to marry you. He's just telling you what you want to hear so he could get in between you. Why? Because he sees you, he sees the way your appearance is, your dress. So he said you be for his profit, he's going to use thee. Read.
But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
So yeah, he's going to forsake you, meaning he's not going to want to be with you. So after he gave you nothing left, right? And you realize this man don't have nothing. He don't have a job. He don't have his own household. He don't have nothing, but he's using you for the benefits, right? So watch this, Proverbs 2 and 11. Because I want to show you what you need to do, Evelyn. This is why they was coming up to you to tell you about the marriage, about your clothing, and how to deal with a godly man and dealing with a Negro in this world. Watch this, read.
Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 11. Discretion shall preserve thee.
So when your discretion shall preserve you, meaning being discreet, dressing modestly, covered up, not showing your body to another man to see that. Because when you see that, is he going to want to get to know you and your mindset and how you are, or are you trying to know what that body is like? He's going to want to know what the body is like because he's seeing your figure because you're doing what? You're advertising your body to him. So now you look at that as what? A profit. And that's why he's going to want to use you for that. Right? Watch this, read.
Understanding shall keep thee.
So when you have that understanding that marriage is honorable, thou shalt not commit adultery. You got to love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the laws that you want to give to him. Like, if you want to take me rightly, you need to prove me. You get to understand and know who this person is for. Why? Because everybody have their own intentions when they try to come at you, right? Watch this, read.
To deliver thee from from the way of the evil man.
Because when you dress in discreet, modest, and you're preserving your body for marriage, it's going to help keep you away from an evil man. For a person who's just going to want to have sex with you and not want to know who you are, want to know what your mindset is like. Are you a godly woman? Do you believe in God? He's not going to want, a worldly man is not going to want to have that. He's not going to have that mentality. His mentality is that let me get the goods and I'm bouncing. That's why we see a lot of single parent households. Because they're not applying the laws of God. And we deal with worldly mindset people and not with men of God. Right? So watch this. Now we went to this. So now we go back to 1 Timothy 2:9. Because as we go on, no, Deuteronomy 22:5. Because we want to show you this law right here. Because we mentioned that you got to have marriage, right? You got to know how to dress what? Discreet and modest, right? Watch this, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So why would God start with this? Because your body is so precious, right? And when you're dressing in clothing that's not of what? Of a woman, but you're dressing as what?
What you call that, a homonger?
Okay, a whoremonger. But if you're dressing in pants or booty shorts like that, a man, you're going to now get what?
You're going to get what you put out there.
You're going to get what you put out there, right?
Right.
And the person that you put out there is 9 out of 10, a no good man, right? And this is what happens when we're not applying this law right here. Doing, fam? We're going over how you have to dress in modest clothing and how to have marriage, a righteous marriage, according to God and not the ways of the world. Right? Watch this. So read it.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Because now when a man put on a woman's garment, that's why we see what? A lot of men being effeminate. Then we start to see a lot of Sodom. A lot of people being man to man, girls to girl. We start seeing all of this. But the important thing is you have to dress in modest clothing. Why? It's going to help you to what? Deliver you and preserve your body for a man not to see you and want to do what? To lust after you, right? Watch this. Go to Sirach 18 and 30. Because I want to show you, Evelyn, about this. Because we're going over the marriage. We went over how you got to stop, how a man was going to use you, right? Watch this. Read. Sirach 18 and 30.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18 and verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
So it says, go not after your lust. Because a lot of times, it's not just men who want to lust after women. Women also have what? Their own desires, right? So as a woman, you have to do what? You have to also refrain your body as well. You got to have that discipline. Because what they say, a man, what? A woman give access to what? They give the access, right? So it's up to you to have that mindset, be like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to want to be with a man that's not going to want to take me to marriage, right? Watch this. So now, Evelyn, right? So you said you have any kids?
I do.
You have any kids, right?
Yes.
So the baby, is he in the life?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So now, are y'all still dealing with each other?
No.
All right, good. So now, so that's one thing, Deuteronomy 28 and 16. Because I want to show you some of the curses that happen to our people, and this is why we're in the condition that we're into, right? Because now, let me ask you, you got a daughter?
I do.
So you got a daughter, right? Okay, so you have a daughter now. All right, watch this, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and
So it says, cursed shall we be in the city, right? One of the curses is we break the law, thou shalt not commit adultery. So then when you don't apply the law, marriage is honorable, right? What's going to happen? You're going to sleep with a man, you're going to get pregnant, and a child's going to come out of that. So now, though you help taking care of the kid, but y'all not together. So that means now this child has to grow up living what? Having two different lifestyles. Because you may believe in one thing, but then the father may believe in another. So now the child's growing up learning two different doctrines, different philosophies, right? This is a curse that happened in the city when we break God's laws, statutes, and commandments, right? So now, read verse 15.
verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So because we don't want to listen to God and hear his word, he said curses will come upon us. So now these curses going to be what? A good or what? A bad thing. It's going to be a bad thing, right? So now when we look in what's going on right there, right? When we look what's going on in our cities, look around us, we see we in a bad neighborhood. Why? Because we broke God's law, statutes, commandments. And that's why we've been what? Cursed as a nation. So now, you say you have a daughter. So now we want to show you what you need to do to help build her up so she don't what? Make the same mistakes that you made, right? Because you want your daughter to be what? Better than you, right?
Correct.
So watch this, Proverbs 22 and 6. Because let's go into God's laws and show you how to build up your daughter as well as building yourself up. Watch this, read. Proverbs 22 and verse 6.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
So we have to train up a child the way they're supposed to go. A lot of times we don't know what to train them off or what to guide them with. They're going to be guided by what? TV, the music, what we see on social media, and that's going to be their influence. And that's how they're going to grow up to be like. Not the image of the sisters in the Bible. They're going to grow up being like the images that we see on social media and TV. They're going to want to be like the Beyoncés, the Cardi B's, the Megan Stallions. They're going to be like all of them. They're not going to be like Rebecca. They're not going to want to be like Esther. They're not going to want to be like the daughters of Sarah that we read out in the Bible. But this is where, as your mom, you got to learn the Bible as well to train your daughter up into it so she could grow up to be a righteous woman, right? Watch this, Titus 2. Go to Titus 2. Because we're going to show you how to build yourself up and as well as you building your daughter up according to God's laws. Why? Because we don't want her to make the same mistake as you made, right? Read.
Titus chapter 2 and verse 3. The aged woman, likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness.
So as the aged woman, you have to be holiness, right? Go to verse 4.
Verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children.
So as an aged woman, you have to teach the younger. But if you don't know how to be sober, if you don't know how to love your husband, how are your daughters going to have to know how to do that? This is why we have to come and learn the Bible and be around like-minded men, like-minded women. Why? Because we have the elder sisters to come and guide you and teach you how to love their husbands, how to grow up and love a man and get a righteous man according to the Bible, and teach the children how to raise up so they could do what? Find them a righteous man. But you got to be what? First, you got to come to the school. You got to have that mindset to change it and want to learn and teach God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands.
Because that's a lot of things that goes on in the black community, right? A lot of our people, they're not women, they're not keepers at home. They be like, I got that independent mindset. They don't even want to be obedient to a man, right? A woman being submissive to them, they look at that as slavery. They don't want to be, oh, I'm going to be obedient, I'm going to be submissive. No, they like to rebel and buck up. But a godly woman is going to teach her daughter and also teach herself how to be these things right here. And these are attributes of a woman. These are attributes that a godly woman would do. Why? Because this is what's going to help build our community that we see right here today. Watch this. So now I ask you a question, right? So what's something that you see in our community that we do today that you think need to be changed?
No, it's a lot. It's
Okay, like what?
The drugs, partying. It's a lot of things that go on.
Okay, so you said drugs and partying.
Drugs, partying, hatred,
Okay, hatred.
against one another.
So do you
trash.
smoke?
I don't.
Okay. You don't do no drugs?
I
You party?
don't. I don't.
All right, so that's good. So now we're going to show how to clean up our communities with the drugs, the partying, and how to love how we love our neighbors, we love ourselves. So Leviticus 19 and 17. Because we're going to go with this first. Read.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So we have to learn how to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. But in the black community today, we don't know how to love each other. Why? Because we don't even know how to love our God. We don't know how to love our God. Why? Because we don't even know who our God is. So we can't learn how to love God. How are we going to learn to love somebody else? So we're going to learn how to love ourselves, right? So now we got to ask ourselves, who is our God? Because if you don't know your God, you're not going to know how to love yourself. This is the one reason why that. Because we think that what? This is the God that we're supposed to love. So when we see this image, we're going to look at those people and think that those is the ones that should be loved. And we're going to look at each other as what? Enemies, right? And this is what happens when we don't know how to love the black Messiah that is in the Bible.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. And